What are your feelings on the Caravan situation? What do you guys think about that?
Why is it any different from all the people that are getting in here every day? Like, what is it? It's a fake thing we're supposed to be paying attention to.
What exactly happened with the Caravan?
They're making a big publicity event out of these people that want to come to America.
Well,
so they're all
they
coming
came
together.
From,
they want asylum.
But they came from Honduras or Guatemala. So MS-13 and this other gang are the biggest employers there. If you don't join them, you get your family killed. Nice guys. And I think that these people are desperate. They're essentially refugees from a place that's intolerable to live.
But they're making it this really big political deal.
Yeah.
It's very publicized.
Totally.
And apparently they're not always walking. Like sometimes they get in the vans and people drive in places.
You're
and
saying that we shouldn't let them in?
Well,
I don't know what you do.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't let them in or we should let them in. This is what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying what's the
saying.
issue?
Well, yeah, we definitely don't. People don't want them in. They're illegal immigrants.
Right.
But what's interesting to me is like if you come from Cuba, you could just come.
Yeah.
If you get on a boat and you get over here in America, we're like, you made it, bro. Come on in.
Yeah.
But if you try from Guatemala, we're like, nah, sorry, son, wrong patch of dirt.
Find another country. Don't take our food
because
stamps.
of the MS-13, right? Because of that horrible
really
gang.
bad.
Yeah, but it's
But they
fascinating.
have horrible murders in New York, and there's
We made an agreement that anybody who's trying to escape the kind of shitty situation they have in Cuba will allow that.
Right. Oh, I got you.
But
We'll
if
allow
you're from
that.
Colombia,
I mean, if you're Yoel Romero and you come over from Cuba, that's true. Yeah,
because you're communist
but we'll
country.
we'll take you.
And people think that like all Mexicans are like for the Caravan and we want them in.
No.
That's not true.
No.
most Mexicans are
It's
like,
immigration is complicated.
Enough is
man.
find another country. You ain't getting our welfare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mexicans ain't down for that Caravan. They want them turned away too.
It's a complicated, emotional issue, man. It's like I always do this joke where I believe in borders, but I'd be a shitty border control agent, right? Like I do think borders are reasonable, but nobody gets over, and then I'd be like, oh, the kids, fuck it, come on, nobody's looking.
Yeah.
And it's so I think Americans feel that way. It's a hard.
Do you
thing.
live in a gated community?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes.
All right. No.
It's like the idea that there's a real country. That there's a place where you can go and a place where you can't go.
Yeah.
And like you have to have papers and they make you cross this line in the dirt. Like they've set up fences and borders.
Well, the service
But
industry needs
the only reason that exists,
labor.
right? I mean, if you think about the United States, right? The United States essentially is not just a country. It's a collection of different areas, right? And each different area has its own culture. They have their own, almost their own language. You know, the way they talk in Florida is way fucking different than the way they talk in Maine. It's really weird. It's all the same language, but it's almost like they're separate little countries. And we travel amongst each other, no problem. And you're allowed to. You're allowed to bail out. I'm going to try to Vegas for a while. I'm going to get me a job at a casino. Nobody cares. Like you're fine as long as you're on this one patch of dirt. But the reason why we don't allow all the other patches of dirt to do the same thing and everybody just flow freely is because there's some spots that just don't have it good at all, and we want those people to stay there.
Although
like you haven't, your spot you haven't fixed.
You know what the
you
connective
haven't fixed your spot.
But you know what the connective tissue is for Americans? Besides, even though that's true, the connective tissue that I think a lot of countries don't have is that the one thing we have going for you, even if it's a myth for a lot of people, freedom. The one thing all Americans have going for them is the idea that there's a chance if I do the right thing. I may be poor now,
American
but
dream.
I could be a fucking millionaire. The
American dream.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That shit is so, but that's what keeps the sort of
that's why
people who
everyone
have
wants to come
nothing
here.
from creating a revolution.
Yeah.
But if we lose that, if
But don't you
people
have to
start
have
thinking
some
that's not for
regulation?
them,
Like you can't let everybody in, right?
Right. You can't
Like,
let
there has to be
everybody in,
some.
but you can let everybody in from Kentucky. If everybody from Kentucky decided to move to LA, we would just have to deal with it.
well, it's American. They got citizenship.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's
No, I know.
odd. The reason why we can't have world citizenship
odd,
is because some places suck too hard.
You're
don't
not for
want
nationalism?
I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just looking at it as a thing right now. If I had to say, do I like it? Honestly, I think the whole world, as the human beings as a race, would be way better off if everybody could move where it's good. And then we would figure out why there's too many people where it's good, and then it'll settle down, and you move to a better spot, and then it'll eventually even out.
Yeah.
You don't
the
think
reason why
That'll never happen, though.
But
It would never even
the
out,
reason
though, right?
why
Kinda does
people
happen.
in segregated areas don't advance, like these people in Sentinel Island. It's a kind of a fucked up example,
Satan's Island.
they're not
Satan
going
worshippers.
anywhere. Like they're wearing leaves over their dicks.
Right.
But they like
they've
that
been doing
shit.
that for 6. Do they?
But
Do they
Joe,
really?
the European Union
You
is
and I
that.
would, by the way, you and I
It
are
is that.
morons. Okay, if we were living on that island, we would be having leaves over our dick too.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm just a satellite. These fucking morons.
Right.
Like, we don't know how to do any of that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
So we would be with them just with a greater understanding of what's possible.
What you
if
just
smarter
said,
people were around.
But what you just said is happening in the European Union. I mean, that's why a lot of Polish people come over to the
And
UK
they're
and then
panicking.
they come back and you know.
Well, there's also what they're doing now with immigration is freaking a lot of people out because they're allowing so many people of different cultures to come in, and then their cities become more multicultural than they are English, and then it gets real weird.
But the other problem is that when you have one currency, currencies used to be based on the productivity of their citizenry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have currency, everybody has the same currency, which means it's all valued at the same thing. Problem is that people in Spain are not as productive as people in Germany, for example. So the German goods and services should be worth more, or the dollar there, the euro there should be worth more than it is, say, in Spain.
Isn't it better when the state has more power than the Fed? Isn't that
it's
better?
like countries.
Is that better?
That's basically what
Because
the argument is we're like a band of countries. Like California's a
Republic.
country,
We're a
Nevada.
But isn't that better though? Isn't that
Yes.
better for the people when
It's
the
better for the
state has?
people.
So then that would mean at the same rate, it's better to have a country like the United States than to be.
Well, so
But
the
thing
Republic
is, with states, you can go to any state.
Yeah.
With countries, you
Within
can't go
the
to any country.
Yeah.
You can't.
Try getting in Japan. Japan.
You can't get in there.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Canada's
I'm
no
hating-
punk
I'm
either.
not
They took
hating on
like 10
Japan.
Syrians,
No.
I think, or something.
What'd you say?
What's that?
Japanese took like 10 Syrians or
Try
something.
getting into
50.
Canada.
Yeah,
Try
I was gonna
that.
say,
Try
Canada's
getting
no
into
punk.
Canada.
These
It's way
celebrities-
harder than the United
these-
States.
Actually, they have very liberal immigration.
No,
policy.
Canada's
No.
actually a beast to live in because the celebrities are like, oh, I'm so sick
you have a
of
DUI,
America's ways. I'm headed to Canada.
If you have a DUI,
Good
they won't
luck.
let you in.
It's true.
It's a beast.
A
Canada's
DUI.
monster.
If you have a DUI,
It's not
they won't let
easy.
you